Thank you for staying tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info. It's time for us to move the conversation a notch higher. And I'm looking at this conversation, this topic, economic palliative, economic palliative, let's put it that way. Or the economy palliative, whichever one suits the conversation for you, you can take it. And I've chosen this topic because you must have heard already that inflation has risen yet again. For those of you just joining, I am Kalada Kurubata, but remember you can join the conversation as well. All you have to do is send me a message to contribute while I'm talking. 0809-0306416 is the number. You could also go on Facebook. We're live, Nigeria Info page. Drop your comments in the comment section. Or better still, you can go to YouTube. We're live there as well, Nigeria Info page. Or we active on Twitter, Nigeria Info page. We're also active on Instagram and Threads, if that's your preferred social media platform. Nigeria Info FM _PH is the handle. Okay, that being said, to matters arising. Inflation is now 22.79%, almost 22.8%. As a matter of fact, if I should do the kind of approximation that I want to do, I would say it's almost 23%. What that means is, before the removal of petrol subsidy, things were already looking like they were going to be hard economically. Prices of things were going up, right? Remember? And then May 29, the inaugural speech of the president, he talked about removing subsidy, and my goodness, things went up. So you see, inflation was already terrible in the month of May, but then calculate all the things that we had to go through in the month of June. And that is what is now being recorded as the current inflation score at 22.79%. By the time we come to an end in the month July, which is in 13-14 days time, the inflation, my prediction, would have gotten to 23 point something percent or even more. And I tell you why, because looking at where dollar is currently, 800 and something, I mean the last time I checked, I hope I'm correct, 800 and something. Looking at where pounds is to the naira, 1,015 plus naira. Oh my goodness. July would have taken the inflation to 23 plus percent, which means that going into August, things may be economically difficult for Nigerians. Maybe. There usually is a miracle, so I want to use the word maybe. And so it's no wonder when the Vanguard brought about a report about economic palliative, I became very interested. Last week, we discussed it, we argued, debated, there was the ping pong, there were the supporters, there were the people against, the 8,000 naira for the poorest of the poor, 12 million households for 6 months. Oh my goodness, everybody has given their 2 cents already on that one. Some say it's not a good idea to go borrow and then consume it, give it to the poor. Some say, what will 8,000 naira buy? I was watching Channels TV yesterday and they were like, 8,000 naira will not buy you anything reasonable. Not even for a day maybe. But 8,000 naira will not buy you anything reasonable. So the government, I don't know if it's the government, but the Vanguard is reporting that there is another package from the federal government, and that is the increment of minimum wage to somewhere around the region of 200,000 naira every month. By the way, in Imo State, Uzodinma, the governor, has increased minimum wage, has raised minimum wage to 40,000 naira, and the federal government's move, as everything in Nigeria has got the supporters and the people who are against it. Now, the governors are saying, see, we might not be able to afford 200,000 naira every month. We might not be able to do that. However, the federal government is saying that with the removal of petrol subsidy, that there will be free money lying around, and it means that the state government will get more allocation at the end of the month, which will enable them sponsor the increment in minimum wage. Remember also, or you can recall, that some of these states are yet to completely bring to play the current minimum wage, which is 30,000+ naira. Now, in that tripartite meeting between the federal government, NLC and TUC, the NLC had asked for a couple of things, the increment of minimum wage from 30,000 to 200,000 by the end of June this year. Also talked about consequential adjustments on the cost of living allowance, like feeding, transport, housing, etc. They also talked about tax holiday for employees both in government and private sector that earn less than 200,000. They talked about PMS allowance to be introduced for those earning between 200,000 and 500,000, and they asked for different things. They asked for different things. However, the federal government, as the Vanguard is reporting, said it is willing to pay 200,000 naira minimum wage, but the governors, as I've already mentioned, are claiming they cannot. Remember, the governors are a part of the Economic Council, the National Economic Council, and they have told the Vice President Kashim Shettima that they may not be able to meet with such responsibility. So the question is, with dollar 800 plus, with the prices of food commodities going up and up every now and then, some of us have already agreed 8,000 naira will not be enough. Increasing minimum wage, which by the way the private sector may not be comfortable with. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think increasing the minimum wage, which will have consequential adjustments to the other levels, the minimum wage is for the lowest level, the other levels above, and these people would also have consequential, why can't I call the word, consequential adjustments to their salaries as well, which will mean more money in circulation, which might also affect inflation, because remember, the CBN over the months now, years, have been trying to reduce the amount of money in circulation as a way to tackle inflation. That's what economists will tell you, that there has to be some kind of scarcity for inflation to find its way down. How does this affect the economy generally? And then when things like this are done, you then want to ask yourself the question, was the removal of petrol subsidy done erroneously? That's the first question on my mind. Was it done erroneously? Could they have waited, till the first refinery is up and running to cushion the effects that is not being felt by, Nigerians? But do you think this is a great idea? What do you make of this economic policy by the federal government, if the report done by the Vanguard is anything to write home about? Do you think this is a solid panacea to the effects that the Nigerians are feeling as a result of the subsidy removal? But then again, there is the question, while everybody's looking to the federal government to be the savior, the economic savior, I've always stated that the state governments, the subnationals, have roles to play in ensuring that we find some economic balance or stability. Bringing it to River State, or focusing on River State, I mean, you listen to the business news where the governor of River State, Siminalayi Fubara, said that don't worry about the ring road, we would make it happen, but would also focus on other sectors. What should be, thinking economic palliatives, What should the government be doing right now to ensure that Rivers people? I know I've asked this question before, some conversation some weeks ago, but given the new developments, inflation up, prices increasing every day, transportation may likely to increase, but hey,
information is a two-way thing.
but hey, you have buses. Now on various roads in Port Harcourt and Obiakpor, or should I say the metropolis. So the question yet again is, what should the River State government do, especially now that the federal government is looking at economic palliatives? 0817-923-0002 is the first number to call. 0817-923-0003 is the second number to call. And for messages, you can use the number 0809-030-6416. Remember, we're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH, and active on Twitter, Nigeria Info PH, live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. There's a commercial break coming up. I'd really like to get your thoughts on it. 200,000 naira minimum wage. Does that defeat the purpose of removing subsidy in the first place? Do you think the economic policy is a genius one, a good one, a pertinent one, or do you have your concerns? I'd like to hear from you. Remember to say you don't have enough money.
This is
hour, and conversations continue right about now. If you're tuning in about now, you're listening to Hard Facts with Kalada Korubatibo on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I think I'm getting myself gradually. For those of you, okay, I think I'm getting myself gradually. That's all I'm going to say. But hey, we're talking about another economic palliative for Nigerians, especially the workers, the civil servants, and the government is looking at increasing the minimum wage to 200,000 naira, according to the Vanguard. I should emphasize on that now. According to the Vanguard, if you want to see the reports, the report is captioned. Just give me a minute so I can get the caption for you, so you can go read it and get the full gist. Okay, so it's captioned: subsidy removal, FG targets two-pronged relief for workers. It's under the business section. Just go there and you would see it. And reading. It says, the federal government is leaning towards tackling the hardship caused by the removal of fuel subsidy with a twin agenda. This is according to Vanguard and Empowered Newswire sources, which includes the provision of palliatives to cushion the effects of the removal of subsidy, which I already mentioned. I believe is the 8,000 naira, and the 200,000 naira minimum wage put forward by Labour. So if this is, remember when I was reading the business news and I was talking about Nigeria's inflation, which is now at 22.79%, I told you that the food inflation also rose to 25.25%. So guess what? So when you get 200,000 as minimum wage, so someone who is above might get like 300,000. Market people will increase their prices. Landlords will increase their prices. Guess what? The taxi driver will increase his price as well. Everybody will try to make a gain so that they can also, get to earn the minimum wage, if you know what I mean. All right, 0817-923-0. Yeah, I'm getting myself back. I can shout now. 0817-923-0002. And 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp messages, you go to the number 0809 030 6416. What is your take on this economic policy? If it is true as the Vanguard has written, what do you make of it, I should say? Okay, Zion is calling from GRA. Zion, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Good afternoon to you.
All right, welcome, Zion. What are your thoughts?
That approach is so primitive.
Ah.
Yeah. 200,000 naira minimum wage. You are only destroying the economy the more. You are going to cause hardship. You are going to frustrate everybody with such idea.
I mean, it's more money in the pockets of the people. How do you mean?
No, sir. When there was a time, most of us, our salaries were just 40,000 naira. Was it not so?
Yeah.
And we are living accordingly. We have sometimes we even run into deficit. Is it not so? Something led to another. Our salaries were increased up to 100,000. Do you know that the attitude when our salary was 40,000 was it the same that 100,000 naira? So tell me, was there any change? No. See, if they implement that idea, they are going to cause drought in our economy. What are we going to do best? Go and buy as a government, set up a committee or a commission to be buying fairly used dress, shoes, electronics, food, plate, spoon. You know what I'm talking about? There are people that have not worn some of their clothes for the past 1 year. Tell them that the government will buy it from you. When you buy those clothes, you sell it back to the economy. You go into agriculture. You go into small-scale negotiation. You bring out the loan. Are you not selling crayfish? Okay, I'm going to give you 100,000
but that's what that we talked about that one last week. The emergency on agriculture, we talked about it. So maybe the government is good. That's also another economic palliative that the government will do.
Exactly. So why don't they implement this medium than looking at increasing of salary? If you increase salary, every item in the market will increase. Every commodity will increase because the 100,000, 200,000 naira, you become like a kinetic energy where everybody wants to plug in their hose. And those who cannot meet up from that 200,000, imagine what will happen to those who are not working, whose salaries are just 20,000 or 12,000, who are working as a petrol attendant, sales girls, and so on. Do you know what will happen to them? I want to break that idea of 200,000 naira as minimum wage. They should alter that process.
All right,
but they are going to cause more harm than good.
All right. Thank you very much, Zion. I've got Clinton from Bury. Clinton, good evening to you. Welcome on the show.
Good evening, Kalada.
Good evening.
200,000 minimum wage.
As reported by the newspaper, yeah?
Kalada is like putting a round peg in a square hole. It will not fit. I think it will also go further to increase the price of commodities in the market. I think what the government should do is to get the basics right. 200,000 is not possible. Even the 30,000 minimum wage approved by Buhari is not being implemented in some states. Even Rivers State is not paid. So why 200,000? You want to kill Nigerians? And what they should do is to provide basic amenities. This will help to expect the price of commodities in the market. If I can transfer my goods at lower rates, the price of goods will go down. If I can get good power, state power, price of goods will go down. Let them get these things right. So I'm not by hiking the increasing price of wages. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, in defense of the government, I would always find an angle to defend government, and it's not because I'm paid by the government. It is so that we can have a rich conversation. In the UK, doctors, junior doctors, teachers, and I think the police are calling for higher pay. Because even in the UK, inflation is going up. I think inflation has reached double figures now for the UK. I think somewhere around 10 or 11%. I checked it. I just can't remember now. So even in the UK, the people are saying, see, we're working and our salaries are not enough. And guess what? They are going to increase their salaries as well. So that they can have enough money to spend because their salaries no longer have value, given the fact that inflation jacked up from somewhere around 5-7% to now somewhere around the region of 10-11%. So when you look at it, maybe it is for the economic good of the people. 200,000 naira, so that nobody will cry and say, I can't pay my children's school fees and I can't buy food. Morgan is calling from Owerri. All right, sorry, Morgan, I missed your call. Transamadi, or rather, Braid is calling from Transamadi. Braid, greetings to you.
Greetings, Kalada.
Welcome.
Kalada, the Vice President and the economic team looking at pegging the minimum wage to 200,000. Kalada, I don't know whether they did not have technocrats on that economic team. What they should do is not increasing the minimum wage to 200,000. They want to sink this country. Canada, there should be technical know-how in handling this issue.
Braid, just to pause you, talking about technical know-how, the governor of Anambra State, who was once in the CBN, was the CBN governor once upon a time, has been given the position to work out modalities. Technical modality. You said you wanted someone with technical know-how. They've given it to Soludo to make sure that he finds a way to make it happen.
Yes, Canada. During 1990-something, when Adipesi Abiola won his election, so immediately, most of the commodities were cheap. How did they make it? Canada, I want to appeal to the government to begin to build on mechanized farming.
Okay.
They should begin to open the borders, open the warehouses that people have stockpiled in. Canada, build our muslin refineries. revive our refineries we have, and also build more refineries. Canada, you look at the whole dollar rate. See how you can bring in our currency, recheck the economy, and also pushing in more money into the economy. Canada, I'm telling you, if they build on mechanized farming, revive our refinery, build monthly refinery, look at our steel industry. Canada is not a rocket science.
All right.
Things will begin to unfold.
All right.
Since this government come into power, we have not heard that, look, XYZ has put into our refinery. We are working on monthly refinery. We are working on mechanized refinery. We have not heard it.
All right. All right.
How we are going to buy bulletproof cars.
Braid, thank you very much. Braid, I've got to go now. Thank you very much for your time. I've got Bon from Port Harcourt. Bon, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. What's on your mind?
Yeah, thank you, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
I just want to ask. I'll just say something.
Yeah.
When we had this cashless policy, you will agree with me that any person that sees 100 naira respected 100 naira.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
No,
I said, of course. I remember vividly, and I mean, you reminding me just gave me goosebumps because whenever I had 100 naira, I was excited.
So 100 naira had value.
Yes, it did.
And even those who were on the road, if they were asked to give money, it was easy for the drivers to say sorry, they didn't have money. Nobody to stop them. So what am I saying? If the government can fight corruption, they have not shown me any sign that they are willing to do that.
Right.
If they fight corruption and stop bogus allocation of resources like giving palliative of 110 billion to NAS, 36 billion to what's the name, to judiciary, and then now bogus 200,000, that'll be 100,000 minimum wage to workers. If they stop such things, I can tell you, you will see us rejig our value to what it's supposed to be.
All right.
What has happened presently is a lot of us are living on borrowed cloth, borrowed hard work. See, our money will not have value unless we do the right thing.
All right,
we must fight corruption, and that's what government.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bon. But I should say that there is no palliative for the National Assembly or judiciary. What has been given or what has been budgeted for, I shouldn't use the word given. What has been budgeted for is said to be for renovation or for better working conditions. I've got John from Emeka.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sandra.
Yeah, John, welcome.
Yeah, for me, I don't think our government knows what to do. I don't know who's advising them. For me, as a layman, I believe that this is just like saying penny wise, pound foolish. If you have seized funding, what do you call it?
Subsidy, yeah.
From fuel. They should use that money. I say, okay, Nigerians, give us 6 months. They carry the money, put it on refinery. So that within 6 months, give us undertaking that within 6 months, our fuel price will come down to so amount of money. Let us use this money and build this refinery and work on them. Or use it and put our electricity in order that, look, give us 6 months, our electricity will come down. The price per unit, they will generate enough. Then you are paying increasing salary, you are doing this one. Our main need, the main concern of Nigerians are fuel, our electricity. If they increase this one now, we still go back and still spend money to buy fuel. What is the benefit?
Yeah.
So they should have used that money recovered from subsidy and apply it into refinery. Say, look, let us exercise patience
period of time, 6 months or 7 months.
But Nigerians, John, Nigerians are not ready to be patient. Nigerians are saying, "Oh, we are dying, we are suffering. Hey, this government is a wicked government," and all sorts of talks that we've heard in recent weeks.
This cannot solve our problem.
Okay.
200,000 naira for workers. That's why I say it's penny wise, powerfully. They will still have to spend the money.
Okay.
So spend the money and put it somewhere and give us undertaking that see what is going to happen and say, okay, out of the money they line from subsidy now, what percentage are they giving as subsidy as increase in salary, increase palliative? What is left? Are they using the remaining money to now say, okay, they are giving us so palliative in the next, this is the one we are putting on the refinery. In the next 6 months, it's going to work out.
All right.
Then people will have hope. It is hopelessness that is killing people.
Okay.
It's not the food not available. When somebody doesn't have hope, then they are lost.
All right.
That is my
all right. Thank you very much. I've got Chris from Elele. Chris, sorry for the long wait. Welcome. What's on your mind? Let's hear you. Yeah, greetings to you.
All these news, they are laughable.
Oh, really?
At best, I will tell you that they are simply trying to buy time with labor, so that, and also to make the Nigerian or legitimize themselves in government to the Nigerian populace. These things are child's play. Who are they deceiving? They know that we know that this is not economic
policy. A good economic policy. Yeah.
By the APC. But the APC has continued to cause suffer the people of Nigeria. And they said minimum wage of 30,000 Canada. Have they been implementing 30,000? If they implemented 30,000, will Labour have been agitating? They so deceived. Why are we like this? Please, everybody has said to them, introduce modular refineries if you can't build big ones, normal ones. If you cannot revitalize the existing ones, build new refineries. Because I have somebody close to me who works in one of the refineries. He told me that the technology is obsolete. And one of the refineries they are trying to revitalize, they contract from the people who built it originally, who knew the technology, who would have been able to change it, and gave it to some other people where they will make money from. Does it make sense? And so the job is not being done, and the people are suffering. And you're telling them 200,000. They can't implement 30,000. If it's 200,000, they will implement.
At least the governors have been vociferous about this, vocal about it, like they were the last time. Remember when they were going to increase it, some governors vehemently said they would not be able to pay, and now they're saying the same thing. But
Canada, wait and see. The next thing now will be Labour will go on strike again and bring back the agreement they have with government.
All right,
it's an endless vicious cycle.
All right, Chris. Thank you very much. Ima is standing by. Ima is calling from Rumukuta, so let's listen to what's on Ima's mind. Ima, greetings to you.
Canada, happy new evening from
Happy new evening to you as well.
Canada, there's a global philosophy that says, don't give me fish, but teach me how to fish.
Okay.
So that I'll go to the water with my hand and catch many. Than giving me two this evening. Tomorrow morning, give me two. Let the government put the 4 refineries together, rehabilitate them. Canada, from A to Z, of the problems we have in this country will come to an end.
All right.
A tuber of yam of 3,000 will come down to 250 naira.
Okay.
A bag of rice of 50,000 will come back to 8,500 naira. Put the refinery in order. And everything, nature will put everything in order. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ima. Thank you very much for your time. I've got Fine Mind from Port Harcourt. Fine Mind, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Yeah, Canada, good evening.
Welcome.
Yeah, the problem we have in Nigeria is that successive government do not really understand the problem of the country. Seriously. They seem to be very, very intelligent, very wise when they are canvassing for the position. Maybe they are elected. They lose all the ideas needed for governance, the better governance than the previous ones. It is so sad that this same government came and borrowed money again to social stability. I mean, it means that the one that was done previously didn't, avail anything good. For them to come up and say that they want to increase minimum wage. Yes, increasing minimum wage is okay, it's good, but to how much? To 200,000. Are you kidding me?
Is it too small?
That is the problem. That is the problem.
Is it too small?
They need to review. It needs an awful review, but not 200,000. What Nigeria actually needs now is the revitalization of our economy. If you revitalize the economy, even if you pay somebody 20,000, the person will not be bothered. There was a time that the minimum wage was not even up to 20,000, but people were happy. They were happier than now. Our currency has lost its value. So how do you make the currency?
But fine mind. See, I get your point. Long term, revitalize the industries, refineries, all of that. But short term, like you said, our naira's lost its value. Have you tried spending 100,000 naira recently? It's like you're spending 20,000 naira. It's gone within the twinkle of an eye. So maybe they're saying, okay, let's cushion it, since the new 20,000 is the new 100,000, or since 100,000 is the new 20,000, let's get it to 200,000 so people can.
I'm struggling to hear you, Kalada.
You're in a noisy place, but thank you very much nonetheless for calling. I've got Odima from Iwofe. Odima, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I just want to ask a question.
I hope I can answer it. Go ahead.
The cost of the PMS in Nigeria is it basically as a result of importation alone?
There are several factors, and I'm not an industry player, but I mean, from my little knowledge, I can tell you there are several factors. There is
because I don't know. I think it's not because the refineries will not just solve the problem. There are a lot of other factors that are reason behind the cost of fuel, the cost of product in Nigeria. Which government can take care of?
I might disagree with you on that one. If refineries are working, Kaduna, for instance, will take care of the northern part of the country. Warri and the two refineries in River State, the one in Delta and the one in River State, will take care of the southern part. I should put it like that, the southern part of the country. So I might disagree with you on that one.
Because Canada, I know that most times the price of crude and the price of PMS is not determined by the domestic market. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yes, it's.
I know these things are being determined by OPEC and what is being sold in the international market. The point I'm making is that have the government thinking about other sectors like agriculture, things that will give us export, that will make us export a lot to make a lot of naira. Even selling our crude in naira, not even in dollars. These things can be done. We can negotiate with our buyers.
It can.
Because it surprises me that look at our everybody that is not in government knows what to do. The people in government, you don't know what to do. I really don't know.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much, Odima. But I was going to tell you that I think that there usually is the local what do you call it now, allotment. Is that local allocation of crude? So when you allocate some for local consumption. But yeah, the price of crude oil is usually done internationally by OPEC plus. Let's look at some messages now. This one says, Kalada, 200,000 naira minimum wage proposal by the not by the federal government, by Labour, but federal government is looking at adopting that proposal. It says, you say, clearly shows that this government isn't really as intelligent as they claim to be. This will skyrocket inflation to as high as over 40%. The major hurdle for Nigerians right now our food transportation? What is so difficult for the government to fix our refineries, invest in agriculture? We can have local, state and federal government farms. For me, the solution remains fix the refineries, invest massively in mechanized agriculture. Daniel from Uzwaba, thank you very much. A quick commercial break. When I come back, I read some more messages.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info. We'll be back.